Hi, tell me a little bit about yourself and who you are.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Carrillo. I am 23 years old. I love acting and I also love watching live theatrical performances. One thing that I recently got into was traveling. I found out that I enjoy traveling and trying out different foods and most importantly, being exposed to different cultures. And something spontaneously that I recently did is I bought my first puppy. She is a white Siberian Husky, and I think it's the best thing I've ever done for myself.
Why do you want to work for the Colorado Police Department?
I want to work for the Colorado Police Department because it properly illustrates to me what law enforcement should look like, which is the police department and the community working together to solve issues and upholding public and safety laws in use.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I see myself in 5 years working here in the Colorado Police Department as a homicide detective, solving murder cases, and also being of use to any different branches that utilize my attention.
Do you like the criminal justice system in place?
I do like the criminal justice system in place, which is a group of agencies, and its purpose is to help rehabilitate victims and, most importantly, provide moral support to victims and stop in a form of preventing more crimes from happening.
Which of your traits do you think will be your biggest asset if hired for this role?
One of my biggest assets, if hired for this role, would be my positive attitude, my strong mindset, and most importantly, my everyday enthusiasm. And I know for a fact I will bring my hard work and every day put in dedication for this job if hired.
Writing reports about your day-to-day activities as a police officer is a requirement. How do you plan to keep up with these requirements?
How do I plan to keep up with writing police reports on every day? Well, in my previous job, I was an asset protection team leader, which meant that every day I dealt with shoplifting case incidents. I utilized a word processor on a day-to-day basis to type up synopsis, record time, and data of the incident.
What specific training have you had with the word processing software?
The specific training, like I mentioned, that I had with the word processor is I used to type up synopsis, which involve the subject, the incident, the date, the time, and the location that it happened, and I had to type that in an orderly fashion form.
Tell me about a time when you had to explain a report to a person who did not have the formal training skills you have.
So I understand sometimes the company hires new employees, so I provide myself as an asset to sit down and explain to any employee what the word processor looks like, what are our expectations on an everyday basis, and I also sit down and open a discussion for questions that they might have, and I know I have the answer to.
Tell me about a time when you didn't agree with a team member and what was the outcome.
A time when I didn't agree with a team member had to be when there was a minor involved in an incident. One of my colleagues told me to call a police officer to come on site. However, I thought the best approach for a minor was to contact their legal parent guardian, and we both came into a conclusion that the best thing to do was to definitely contact their legal parent guardian, and we were able to resolve the situation, and most importantly, the child understood what they did was wrong.
How would your previous coworkers describe you as?
My previous coworkers would describe me as very enthusiastic, hardworking. I never give up, and I think that one of my greatest attributes is my strong mindset, and that's for sure something they would say about me.
What questions do you have for me about the Colorado Police Department?
The questions that I have for you about the Colorado Police Department would be, what does the schedule look like for the police officers? Meaning days of work, and most importantly, the hours. And my secondary question that I would have is, what are the salaries, and is there any benefits in the process?